Are you ready for an epic dark fantasy adventure? Follow our heroes as they search for the powerful artifacts needed to break a curse. Will our heroes overcome the curse, or will they fall victim to its power? Find out in this thrilling tale of magic and adventure. Don't miss out on this epic adventure. Watch now. The sky was dark, and the air was thick with fog as the traveler approached the gates of the cursed city. He had traveled long and hard, braving treacherous terrain and dangerous creatures. He had heard rumors of a city that had been abandoned by its inhabitants. He thought it would be an interesting place to explore, but as he approached the gates, he sensed something was not right. The gates were made of iron, and the stone walls surrounding the city were covered in vines and thorns. As he entered through the gates, the traveler sensed a foreboding presence. The streets were empty, and the buildings were in disrepair. He made his way to the center of the city, where he found a great castle that loomed over all. As he walked the castle corridors, he stumbled upon a woman draped in black robes. She introduced herself as the last inhabitant of the cursed city. She explained that the city had been cursed by the gods because of the greed of its rulers. They had taken the riches of the city and left the people to suffer. The gods had cursed the city so that no one would be able to claim the riches. The woman explained that if he could break the curse, the city and riches would be his, but if he failed, he would suffer the same fate as the previous rulers. The traveler thought for a while, but ultimately came to the conclusion that it was worth the risk. The woman gave him a map to lead him to the 3 artifacts needed to break the curse. The first artifact was the Sword of Light. According to the map, it was hidden in a cave deep in the surrounding mountains. The traveler set out for the mountains, braving harsh weather and treacherous terrain. He finally found the cave, but it was guarded by a fierce dragon. The traveler fought bravely, but he was no match for the dragon. Just when he thought all was lost, a mysterious figure appeared and defeated the dragon. The figure introduced himself as a traveling warrior and explained that he too was in search of the artifacts. But he didn't know how to locate the other 2 artifacts. The traveler and the warrior agreed that their chances of obtaining the artifacts would be higher if they worked together. With the dragon incapacitated, they were able to locate the sword with ease among the rocks in the cave. The second artifact they needed was the Shield of Shadows. According to the map, it was hidden in a labyrinth in the desert east of the city. The traveler and the warrior set out for the desert. Once at the desert labyrinth, they realized that the labyrinth was impossibly difficult to navigate through due to the strange sights and sounds that distracted them. They were hopelessly lost until the traveler realized that the strange occurrences were just illusions meant to trick them. With this newfound realization, they were able to disregard the distractions and make their way through the maze. Once at the center of the labyrinth, the traveler was able to locate the Shield of Shadows. The traveler and warrior set out on their journey to find the final artifact. The final artifact they needed was the Crown of Life. According to the map, it was guarded by a powerful sorcerer in a tower on the rocky cliffs by the sea. Once at the tower, they soon realized that the tower was protected by powerful magic. The 2 had no knowledge of magic. They were hopelessly stuck until the woman who had given the traveler the map appeared. The woman revealed that she was, in fact, a witch. The witch explained that she had been the apprentice of the sorcerer and knew his weaknesses. She offered to help them defeat the sorcerer if they agreed that she would get a third of the riches. The traveler and the warrior agreed to her request. With her help, they were able to overcome the magical defenses around the tower. Once inside, the witch battled her former master and was victorious. With the sorcerer out of the way, they were able to claim the Crown of Life. The trio returned to the cursed city. They made their way to the main temple. Once there, they laid down the 3 artifacts at the altar of the gods. The witch sensed that the offering pleased the gods and that the curse had been lifted. The traveler and the warrior asked the witch where the treasure was at. Just before the witch could answer, the warrior leaned against the wall, causing a panel to move. The panel opened a secret chamber by the altar. The chamber was filled with riches beyond their wildest dreams. They had everything they could ever want. With the riches, they were able to commission artisans and craftsmen to restore the city to its former glory in just a few short years. People began to flock in droves to the newly renovated city. The three ruled as benevolent rulers at first. However, the perils the trio endured to claim the artifacts began to weigh on their minds. They each had lost a piece of themselves along the way. To escape their thoughts, they allowed themselves to indulge in extravagant and decadent pleasures. The power, wealth, and bad memories corrupted them, and they made the same mistakes that the former rulers had. 13 years passed, and the three had become tyrants, feared by those who called the city home. The traveler made cruel laws with his advisors. The warrior and his guard enforced the laws and ruthlessly punished any who broke them. The witch withdrew to her tower at the castle, focusing only on her magical experiments. She would use her powers on any who disturbed her. Through their dreams, the gods warned them to change their ways, or they and the city would be cursed. But they refused to listen, and one by one they each met tragic ends. Without the three rulers, the city fell into anarchy. 4 years after the last of the three passed, a traveling witch arrived at the city gates. She had heard the rumors about the cursed city, but with her powers, she believed she could bring peace to the lawless city. But as she approached the city gates, she sensed something was not right. She stopped for a second, contemplating whether to enter or leave. But the moment of indecision passed, and with firm resolution, she entered the cursed city. Well, thanks for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more thrilling adventures.